Yo, what's up guys? I am filming this video from my room. I know I usually film from the office, but today I'm actually on dad duty for the first half of the day. So this was my only option. Also kind of trying to speak a little lighter so I don't wake my son up. Um, Anyways, today I want to talk about the danger of setting false expectations in this book business, as well as any business really in general, but I'm going to keep it specific to books. A lot of you guys are maybe looking at my videos, other guys' videos, and wanting to jump headfirst into getting a warehouse, go bulk, get forklifts, get part-time employees, all this stuff. But there's a lot of danger and risk in that. There's a lot that you need to kind of put yourself through before you take a step into bulk. I really recommend that many of you guys do cherry picking to start off. Obviously it depends on your financial situation and whatnot, but you need to, if you don't have any experience with sourcing books, selling books, you need to start with cherry picking 100%. I feel like I should have done this video sooner. But many of you guys, I think there's only maybe one gentleman in particular that's actually taken action on this. He's gotten a warehouse, he's gotten a forklift, and I think he's in a much better situation financially than most people. So I'm excited to see where things go for him. But for everyone else, I've said this before, don't be maxing out credit cards, don't take family loans, don't do all that stuff. Just to dive in and go bulk right away. You need to see if this business is right for you. You need to see if you enjoy it. You need to see if you like, hauling heavy books everywhere and getting your hands dirty, literally. Books are not that clean, and it's kind of a dirty job. And it's a lot of, if you're cherry picking, it could be a lot of driving. It's a lot of sacrificing on weekends and whatnot. So I think that if you are interested, which I fully endorse this business, obviously it is incredible. There's very few places that you can go and buy books for pennies on the dollar and flip them for as high as $200. It's absolutely incredible when you find books like that. And there's really not many products that you can do that with. So I highly recommend getting into this business, but you need to make sure you have the right mindset and realistic expectations, and you need to enjoy what you're doing, you guys. I didn't get into books to make money. I love everything about books. I think I finally found, my calling, basically, if you want to call it my passion. It just so happened to be that there's actually money in it. I wouldn't have done this if I didn't think there was any kind of opportunity there. So it's kind of the best of both worlds for me. That's why I've gone so, hard into this. I wrote it down. I did 5 months of cherry picking prior to going bulk. I started March. For any of you that have been following me, you know that I've been completely transparent. I've been documenting the entire journey, and I'm going to continue to do that until I get to where I want to be. And for the record, I don't know if I've already mentioned this, but I know where it is exactly. So here's what I'm shooting for my business. I don't want some huge warehouse. I don't want a bunch of employees. What I want, and what I already know is possible, is I want to have me and one full-time employee with potentially a lister, a part-time lister that gets paid on a per book basis, about 25 cents a book. It'll be me, that full-time employee, and a part-time lister. I want to do 40 to 50,000 a month in sales. That is sales, which should translate to about 17,000 a month in profit minus my expenses. So, a quick, here's the numbers the way we've crunched them and looked at them. So if we're sending in a pallet to a pallet and a quarter. I know it's kind of weird to say that. I say 1,000 to 1,250 books a week. The way that my father-in-law had projected things, we should be hitting that level about, it's looking like February. The beauty is too, is my inventory is going to continue to grow at that level. We've been sending in that level since August. We sent in 5 pallets. I think it was 5 pallets August, 5 pallets or 6 pallets in October. So 5 in August, 6 in October, and we'll do 5 again this month. So we're right on track with our numbers, and we should be able, from what we looked at, we're currently going to be at 11,000 books active when these pallets hit. And I also have another one behind that getting picked up today. I hope. We'll see if it gets picked up or not. But the thing is right now it's a little, it's a weird spot for us because since August we've been operating basically like we are at that level, meaning that we have the warehouse, we have the equipment, we've been investing in, some labor, obviously. And also we've been buying a ton of books. I've been spending a lot of money on books, you guys, to get the inventory numbers I need and the level at which we will hit those numbers, the 40 to 50,000 a month. I think it is closer to 40, but the goal is to hit 500,000 in sales in 2020. So we've been sending in, to get back to the point, we've been sending in the level of books at which that will happen, and the inventory is not going, like our sell-through, if you look at it from like the amount of books you're selling per month, what we think is going to happen is we're going to get to the point where at that level, at 40,000 a month, we'll have about 20,000 books in inventory, and we'll be selling through about 4,000 a month or 1,000 a week, which is about 20% sell-through, which is normal. That is a healthy sell-through rate. You want to be near that. And at that level, we will grow into, our cost of goods and our warehouse and all that. And everything, all the numbers are going to look much better than they do now. Right now, I think we're sitting at like 29% profit margins. But obviously, if you look at like the cost of, say your warehouse is like $2,000 a month, obviously the piece of the pie, if you're doing $15,000 in sales, the piece of the pie of which the profits are going into the warehouse is going to be much higher. The percent of your profits going into the warehouse is going to be much higher. But when you look at it going from 15 to 40, obviously the amount you spend on a warehouse is going to be a much smaller percentage versus like doing something like 15,000 a month in sales. So I'm super excited. As always, I will be completely transparent, and this is all accountability for me too. So, if we get to there, like I can't wait to talk in the end of February and see where we're at. I'm saying it right here. We're going for about 40,000 a month in sales. So we'll see what happens if we don't get there. And if we miss it by a lot, obviously there will be some concern, and we'll have to figure out why this is going on. We're going to look at our sell-through rate, make sure it's at 20%. Our repricer, there might be issues with our repricer, so we'll have to look at things then. There's also been some strange talk on the forums, which I take those with a grain of salt, but there's been talk about Amazon throttling sales, basically, in quotes, throttling sales. I don't really believe that. People have said they have email proof that they're doing that from Seller Central, but that, to me, that doesn't make any sense. I think it had something to do with fraud, but we're selling in this segment. I don't think it matters when you're selling used books. So, I don't think that's the case, and I guess we'll find out. I'll be the first one to tell you whether or not I feel like something like that's going on, because if our sell-through rate is intact and we have 20,000 books, we should be selling 4,000 books. So it's just simple math. And at that number, if we can get to an average payout, you know, the goal is to get our payouts at $5 or more when we get to that level. So it's going to be a little tough kind of playing with a repricer. On the one hand, you know, if you're lowering your prices, your sell-through rate goes higher. But on the other hand, if your repricer is not aggressive enough, your sell-through rate's going to drop down below 20%. And you're not going to be hitting the numbers you want, even if your payout per book goes up. So it's going to be a balancing act for us. But again, I will let you know how it goes, and I'll also talk about what I'm doing with my repricer, as long as those numbers look good, because I'm not going to try and share my repricer settings with you guys if it's not looking really good. So I'll get back to you on that. I use repriceit.com, by the way, and it's been working really well for us. It's about $16 a month, which, if you think about it, that pays for itself in, you know, one or two book sales, or two book sales about. So, or maybe, I guess 2 to 3, whatever. Depends on what type of book it is, but it pays for itself hundreds of times over a month. So you got to get a repricer. I recommend not buying one until you are at least at 1,000 books in inventory. And on that note, guys, I think that's going to be it. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have safe travels. Please like this video if you did. Send me any comments below if you'd like to. I'd be happy to answer any of them. If you look at any of my past videos, I answer every question almost immediately. And I'd love to answer yours. Also, please subscribe if you're not. Appreciate it, guys. Happy holidays. Talk soon.